Welcome to Okinawa, home to Kadena Air Base. Kadena Air Base and the surrounding area provide a unique and sometimes challenging driving environment. One of the first things you'll need to get accustomed to is driving on the left side of the road. Roadways on Okinawa are also extremely congested. However, by practicing sound driving habits and knowing the rules of the road, you can substantially reduce your chances of being involved in a vehicle accident. Accidents are very costly if you get into one off base. This video was developed to enhance your awareness of the rules, point out some significant hazards, and prevent you from getting into an accident on Okinawa. Once you receive your Japanese driver's license, you'll be considered a professional driver. This means you're expected to drive in a responsible, courteous, and safe manner. We encourage you to drive on base for a while before venturing off base. This will help you transition to driving on the opposite side of the road. To prepare yourself for the rigors of driving in Japan, find an empty parking lot or a road with little or no traffic and practice. Time after time, mishap experience has proven that safety belts prevent injuries and save lives. You are required to wear your safety belt at all times in a moving motor vehicle on or off base. Children 4 years of age or less and those weighing under 50 pounds must be in a properly installed U.S. Department of Transportation approved child restraint. Remember, the back seat is the safest place for all children 12 and under. Vehicle operators are responsible for ensuring all passengers use safety belts. Active duty military personnel involved in a vehicle mishap when not wearing a seatbelt can be found not in the line of duty and held liable for all medical costs resulting from the mishap. So remember, buckle up at all times. Drinking and driving is a serious matter on Kadena. Checkpoints are often set up to detect drivers under the influence of alcohol. During these checks, the police use an alcohol sensing wand to detect alcohol within a vehicle. The penalties for drinking and driving are severe. Some of these may include driving while intoxicated, DWI, a blood alcohol content of 0.10% or higher, 6 points on your license and a 1-year revocation of driving privileges. Driving under the influence, DUI. A blood alcohol content of 0.05% but less than 0.10%. 6 points and a 6-month suspension of privileges. Japanese driving while drinking indicated, DWDI. A blood alcohol content of 0.03% but less than 0.05%. 3 to 6 points on your license and assess a 12-hour suspension of driving privileges. Plan ahead. If you're going to drink, consider your options. Call 634-AADD-2233 for a free ride. Use a designated driver, call a cab, or just walk. Contact any club manager and 18 Services will provide you a free ride home. Several base organizations also have special programs available to prevent drunk driving. Speed limits in Okinawa are posted in kilometers per hour. The speed limit on base is 40 kilometers per hour unless otherwise posted, 40 in military family housing areas, 10 in parking lots, and 25 in school zones. The maximum speed limit on Kadena Air Base is 60 kilometers per hour. Always pay close attention to the posted speed limit and applicable hours in school zones. Speed limits in school zones are strictly enforced. When driving, be courteous to pedestrians exercising near the roadway. While jogging or running near the roadways, wear reflective material on your upper body from sunset to sunrise or during conditions of reduced visibility. When a sidewalk is present, joggers and runners will use the sidewalk, but not interfere with pedestrian traffic. Do not wear headphones while running on roadways. The Reisner jogging track is the only authorized place to run while wearing headphones. There are many international traffic signs used in Okinawa. A few of the most common ones are stop sign. Here is a stop sign. When at a four-way stop, you must yield to the vehicle on your left and vehicles on a priority road. Yield sign. This is a yield sign. Notice the similarity to the stop sign. Speed limit sign. Remember that speed limits are posted in kilometers per hour. Bus lane sign. Bus lane signs are to remind you of the restriction in designated time periods. Do not enter sign. Do not enter sign. No passing sign. No passing. Right or left turn only. Crosswalk sign. At crosswalk signs, you must yield to pedestrians at all crosswalks. As a pedestrian, ensure the vehicle operators have stopped and remember to look right, left, then right before crossing the street. One-way sign. This is a one-way sign. No U-turn sign. U-turn signs are common on the main roads. It is illegal to make a U-turn unless otherwise marked. No parking sign. No parking. No parking or stopping sign. Vehicles will be towed in these zones. Kadena Air Base is the only place on island where you can legally make a left turn on a red light. This rule does not apply off base. Make a left turn only after you make a complete stop and yield right-of-way to include pedestrians. If you plan on driving a motorcycle during your assignment, you must complete the mandatory Motorcycle Safety Foundation course prior to arriving, or schedule the training at the Wing Safety Office upon arrival. Motorcycle operators must also take an MSF course every 3 years while in the PACAF region. Inexperienced riders are restricted to operating a motorcycle with no more than 600 cc 4-stroke and 250 cc for 2-stroke engines. Personnel are prohibited from loaning or borrowing motorcycles to personnel who are not properly trained and licensed. Contact your unit motorcycle monitor for additional information. Operating a bicycle also has some requirements to comply with. All cyclists will wear a helmet and will not wear portable headphones or other similar devices that can impede hearing. Wear brightly colored clothing and reflective vests at night. Bicyclists are considered part of the traffic when operating on roadways and must comply with the established rules of the road. If operating between sunset and sunrise, you must have a front headlight visible for 500 feet. You must also have a permanently affixed rear reflector visible from a distance of at least 300 feet. Parents and guardians are responsible for ensuring their dependents comply with safety requirements. As with most bases, the parking lots are highly congested, and when driving these areas, you should exercise the utmost caution. These areas are the post office parking lot, Olympic and Fairchild shopettes, base exchange, and commissary. Douglas Boulevard, that's the road traveling from Gate 1 to Gate 3, has 2 traffic-controlled intersections that are the scene of some very serious traffic accidents. These intersections are at Douglas and Fairchild, this is the intersection at Burger King, and the intersection of Douglas and Schreiber, that's the intersection at Chili's. Use extreme caution when approaching these intersections. Driving off-base presents many challenges to the inexperienced driver. Unique traffic rules, signs, and behaviors, coupled with higher rates of speed and congested traffic, increase your risk of being involved in an accident. Don't assume what other motorists will do, and always allow room between you and the next vehicle to compensate for mistakes. Defensive driving is imperative. Okinawans are very courteous drivers. It's common practice to stop for a fellow motorist to allow them into congested lanes of traffic. You need to be aware of this because motorists often stop in the middle of the road to extend this courtesy. Always be prepared to stop. This symbol indicates a driver who has less than 1 year driving experience. In many cases, it provides protection to a local national in case of an accident. As a professional driver, you have a big responsibility. Should you be involved in an accident with a motorist displaying this symbol, you may be held responsible. This symbol indicates a driver over 70 years old. Again, you as a professional driver will assume more liability if involved in a mishap with a vehicle carrying this symbol. Motorcycle operators create a unique scenario, especially on Highway 58. You should always anticipate motorcyclists. It's common to observe them riding between cars all the way to the front of the line when traffic is stopped at an intersection. If a motorcycle is in front of you, leave the rider and yourself enough room to stop suddenly. Local nationals are not required to wear appropriate protective gear or use their headlights during daylight hours. Taxi drivers present a constant hazard because they are totally unpredictable. They will make unannounced U-turns or suddenly cut across lanes of traffic. Beware, they also often jump a red light before it turns green to make a right turn. Drivers running red lights are also a problem. You should expect several vehicles to run a red light at one time. This is sometimes referred to as the 3-car rule. If you are first in line at an intersection when the light turns green, ensure the intersection is clear before proceeding. If you collide with one of the vehicles running the red light, you can be found partially at fault for failing to ensure the intersection is clear. It is illegal to use a handheld, portable, or cellular phone while operating a vehicle on and off the installation. The only exception to this rule is in the event of an emergency to call the authorities. Construction is always in progress, and construction workers are on the job day and night. A road you traveled yesterday could be under construction today. Road construction sites often have no pre-announced warning signals or signs far enough in advance to warn approaching drivers. Expect the unexpected and be prepared to stop or merge into another lane. During typhoon season and in inclement weather, driving becomes more hazardous. Roads and highways become slick, and drivers must adjust their driving and speed to the conditions. Despite traffic laws and precautions taken by drivers, accidents still happen. A common contributor is driving too fast for conditions. Other factors include congested roadways, slick road surfaces, especially after rainstorms, pedestrians not utilizing designated crosswalks, roadway construction, narrow roads, and other unsafe driving behaviors. You should know what to do if you're involved in an accident off base, whether it's your fault or not. First, assist the injured and remain at the scene. Exchange personal data and notify the local security police or military police. The phone numbers are listed on the back of your U.S. Forces Japan 4EJ driver's license. Do not move your vehicle until told to do so by law enforcement officers, even if the vehicles are obstructing traffic. Moving the vehicle before police arrive could hamper their investigation and put you at fault. We've looked at a number of the most hazardous areas for operating vehicles in and around Kadena Air Base. Most accidents are preventable. Every driver must be constantly alert to the various conditions and hazards on our roadways. You are ambassadors of the U.S. and must drive safely and defensively. We hope your time here in Okinawa is safe and accident-free.